It's a big weekend of football today. For so many of us, especially those of us that are Chelsea fans, and also those of us that are Nigerians, and a proud supporter of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So today, in the ongoing AFCON, talking about the African Cup of Nations, that is currently going on in Morocco, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be in action tonight against the Cottage Eagles of Tunisia. While in the English Premier League, Chelsea will host informed Aston Villa at Stamford Bridge. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video, we'll take a look at the preview between Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Yesterday I did the preview between the Super Eagles of Nigeria versus Tunisia. If you did not watch that preview, check my previous video. Thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated, because you guys are the real deal. For me to be here, knowing fully well that someone there like you is actually watching, is what gives me encouragement to keep going. So, the game before us today is indeed a really tough one. And I would say this preview is one of the biggest previews that I will be making this season. I never expected it to be this big. But Aston Villa, with their current form, have actually made it big. So if we take a look at the Premier League standing, currently Aston Villa are third in the Premier League standing with 36 points after 17 games, 11 wins, scoring 27 goals and conceding 18. While Chelsea currently are behind Aston Villa in 4th place with 29 points. If we take a look at Aston Villa, who are currently sitting third in the Premier League table, for you to know that this clash between Chelsea and Aston Villa today is a big clash. You'll get to know that Aston Villa currently have an asset. And what is that asset Aston Villa is having? None other than the manager, talking about Unai Emery, who have actually done a great job. This is a club that actually began the season so poorly, seated right down in the relegation zone, and currently are third in the Premier League. Aston Villa began their campaign this season. After 5 matches in the English Premier League, they secured 3 draws, which is 3 points, and lost 2 games. And after their first 5 matches, Aston Villa has gone 12 matches, winning 11 and lost just 1. Their loss came against Liverpool at Anfield. So you can see the transition, the transformation that the manager, talking about Unai Emery, have actually taken Aston Villa from. Unai Emery is indeed a very prolific and tactically sound manager who have actually been doing great. So going into this game, Chelsea are coming from the back of a 2-2 draw against Newcastle United at St. James's Park, with a game that actually looked like Chelsea were actually going to lose due to a poor performance in the first half. But in the second half, Chelsea came back into that game, gone blazing, and were able to come from 2-0 down to actually draw 2-2 at St. James's Park. Prior to that game, Chelsea defeated Cardiff in the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup to book a place in the semi-final, and currently in the semi-final first leg, after Arsenal defeated Crystal Palace, it's going to be Chelsea versus Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. And before the Cardiff City game, Chelsea defeated Everton at Stamford Bridge by 2-0. And Everton came into that game also with a very good run of form, just like Aston Villa. Just like Aston Villa are coming into this game with a very good run of form. And that has been Chelsea progress so far. So before the last 3 games that Chelsea actually won 2 and drew 1, Chelsea had a miserable 4 runs of game without a win, playing a goalless draw at the Vitality Stadium against Bournemouth, went away in the UEFA Champions League, lost to Atlanta by 2-1, lost to Leeds United 3-1, and a 1-1 draw against Arsenal at the end of last month. While Aston Villa, on the other hand, are coming into this game, in their last 12 matches in all competition, Aston Villa have lost just 1. And like I said earlier, their loss came against Liverpool in the Premier League. So their last 12 their last 12 matches in all competition have actually seen Aston Villa won 11, no draws, no loss. 100% good run of form by Unai Emery boys, and Aston Villa have been in a winning streak of 10 consecutive wins in a row. And out of the 12 games which they actually lost just 1, they actually won Manchester City, they defeated Manchester United, Arsenal, they defeated Wolves, they defeated West Ham, they defeated Brighton. Aston Villa have actually been on a demolition tour, because they actually take down every team that comes their way. So going into this game is definitely going to be a big clash. And Chelsea, on the other hand, will be looking to halt the good run of form of Aston Villa. Take nothing away from Aston Villa. Unai Emery has been a very good manager with no known stars in that team. Because if you look at the team that Unai Emery is parading that are actually giving the result, you will be amazed with Oli Watkins as the top man, Buendia in the left wing, McGinn in the right, and Morgan Rogers, who have actually been in a red hot form, is one man that have been making things happen for Aston Villa. So going into this game, Chelsea will be looking to actually have a good game against Aston Villa because this is not going to be a pushover. But the good news here is this is one game that Chelsea actually knows how to play very well, and that is why personally I am not under pressure going into this game. If only Enzo Maresca will just put up the right selection, believe me, Chelsea will defeat Aston Villa. So looking at the game, the last time we met here in Stamford Bridge, Chelsea defeated Aston Villa by 3-0, and Aston Villa also on the other hand at the Villa Park defeated Chelsea by 2-0. That was in 2024-2025 Premier League season. So both sides actually shared points. And in previous meeting, the last time Chelsea actually do the double against Aston Villa, 2021-2022 league season, that Chelsea defeated Aston Villa home and away. So previous meeting, after then, Aston Villa has actually come to the bridge in the last 3 meetings and they've actually won 2. So it's definitely going to be a tough match, most especially with their current form coming into this game. But then, Chelsea are definitely equal to the task. So, without wasting much of time going into this game, because it's definitely going to be a big game for Chelsea and one that can actually set Chelsea's season right on track. Chelsea just needed to win this game in order to remain in the top 4 of the Premier League standing. Anything short of a win, if Chelsea end up losing this game to Aston Villa at Stamford Bridge, we might just be in 6th position thereabouts. So anything short of a win against Aston Villa might just be very disastrous, as Chelsea will continue to struggle and it will be a very big fight in order for us to secure a top 4 finish. So without wasting much of time, let's dive into it and take a look at my predicted 11 that will do the job against Aston Villa. Check this out. In goal will be Robert Sanchez. The full-back, I'll go with Marc Cucurella and Reece James. The centre-back pairing select itself, Trev Chalobah and Wesley Fofana. The midfield pivot, I'll go with Enzo Fernandez and Moses Caicedo. The 3 attacking midfield trio, the left wing will be Alejandro Garnacho, the right wing will be Pedro Neto, and the number 10 role will be Cole Palmer, and up front will be João Pedro. So, it was definitely good to see João Pedro actually getting a goal against Aston Villa and against Newcastle United in our last game, and that is just one thing we just want to see him do every weekend. But then, that is just one thing we just want to see João Pedro actually do for us. Get the balls, be in good position and get the goals for us. We are not asking for much, and I want to believe we have every player around you in order to make that happen for you. So, if we take a look at the selection I actually put up going into this game, I believe this can actually get the job done. Yes, it can actually get the job done. Except if Enzo Maresca might just decide to go with one additional defensive-minded player in the midfield that is talking about deploying Reece James to partner Moses Caicedo. And that definitely means Enzo Fernandez might just be coming from the bench again, just the way we saw in the game against Newcastle. But I think, in my opinion, the midfield pivot of Enzo Fernandez and Moses Caicedo might just be good enough to do the job against Aston Villa. So, the key battle to watch out for is the left side, where we have Marc Cucurella, who will be going head-to-head with McGinn, and also the right back, where we have Reece James, in my predicted 11, that will be going head-on with Emiliano Buendia. So I think Chelsea have what it takes. And in the midfield, Moses Caicedo is there, capable of actually taking out Morgan Rogers out of that particular and out of the game. So it's going to be an interesting game, and one that will be full with drama from start to finish. So I expect Chelsea to actually come out strong, and in order for us to get the win against Aston Villa, we have to be 100% perfect in this particular encounter. No mistakes of any sort, because Aston Villa are capable of punishing you with the slightest mistake that we will make. So I think this selection I have put up is just good enough to get the job done. I will have no issue if Enzo Maresca decide to also deploy Reece James to partner Moses Caicedo in that midfield pivot. Who will make your predicted 11 going into this game between Chelsea versus Aston Villa? Drop your thoughts down below. Prediction. This is one game that Chelsea definitely knows how to play very well. I must say, the pressure is on Chelsea, no doubt. But if we look at a couple of players that Aston Villa actually have on their injury table, I mean, Ross Barkley is out injured, and that is a big blow for Aston Villa. And other couple of players, they actually have about 4 players on their injury table. So that will actually pose a big problem for Unai Emery in terms of selection. But then, take nothing away from the Aston Villa midfield of Onana and Kamara, and it's definitely going to be interesting. And like I said earlier, Chelsea have what it takes to actually cut off the midfield of Aston Villa, and in the wing, we have the players to actually catch them on when we are going with, to actually catch them in a counter. So, but I believe going into this game, Chelsea as usual, just like playing that high pressing kind of football. So I think Chelsea have everything working in our favor going into this game. The midfield, if we capture it, good and fine. In the wings, we have the players that can actually cause the damage. And I definitely believe the fullbacks, talking about Marc Cucurella and Rich James, will definitely evolve and also have a very good game against McGinn and Buendia. So I see Chelsea defeating Aston Villa by 2-0. Yes, confidently I said it. Chelsea will defeat Aston Villa 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. What will be your prediction going into this particular encounter between Chelsea versus Aston Villa? Drop your thoughts down below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and catch you in the game, in the match review. Bye.